In the house today, we have Steve and Shar back.
Let's go.
Second spousal, is that a word? Episode.
Today it is.
Yep.
It's a tough start.
Yep. This has actually been a really rough start. We were probably supposed to start about an hour ago. Actually, fun fact, I just listened to have you guys listened to the Smartless podcast with
I've watched their little docu-series.
Yeah, it's super good. They just 2 weeks ago they recorded with Matthew McConaughey, and they had this whole bit about how they actually had him on previously, but Jason Bateman had like a technical difficulty and like spun out and like walked out. Anyways, I felt like that starting this podcast today, that we were just having so many issues.
Side note to your fun fact, I listened to Matthew McConaughey's book.
That's got to be way better than reading it. Hearing him.
He reads it, narrates it.
Yeah, he's the voice.
And it's everything you'd expect it to be.
Is it really?
Yeah. I don't think anybody else could read his own book.
No.
What are you talking about?
Matthew McConaughey's like, is it his? What
do you mean he couldn't read his own? Nobody else could read their own book.
No, nobody else could read his book. Like be the narrator for his book, because you just hear him.
And he just has like such a distinct accent, and like way of speaking, and the stories of his life are almost like so unbelievable.
They have to come from him.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But speed it up to like 1.5 to 2x speed.
Oh yeah,
slowly.
He probably sounds different though, huh?
Yeah, but you have to go faster.
Honestly, I listen to most of my podcasts at 1.5 speed.
Do you think people do that with this podcast?
I hope so.
Well, I don't know.
Do people listen to this one?
Yeah, that's true. I don't think.
Yeah, that's probably true.
It's more.
We can pull that data rather quickly.
Matt listens to it in his edits.
Yeah, and my mom.
At 2.5 speed.
Yeah,
and mom, every single episode she listens to.
And one of your relatives
a loyal
in
fan.
California.
Yeah. What?
Another relative, I think. Right? California.
Oh, a couple of relatives, actually. Yeah. A couple of relatives.
10 fans.
One in Canada.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, today...
She doesn't follow us, by the way, on social media.
Oh, she doesn't?
Does she have social media?
Yes.
We're talking about Matt's mom. So
Mama
Matt's
Bear,
mom,
love you. Shout out.
Shout out.
Next time you're here, we're going to get you on an episode, and we'll either
It'll go viral.
Go to superstardom or get canceled. One of the two.
Honestly,
I love both options.
Hands down, Mama Bear is getting on the podcast, and I want Shar to also join for that one.
Let's not.
That's true. Now we're all fighting over Mama Bear. No, I'm probably up there too, though. I'm second to you. Okay.
Shar's third.
Well, no, Shar's at the bottom. Mama Bear would agree with me too. That's why I'm her favorite. Okay, so today's episode actually is we're adding in some more like business conversations to this. So today we're going to kind of talk about some current events. So business current events for the most part.
Not
if
really.
everybody here was asked to bring a handful to this conversation, some of which probably didn't, but it's okay. We have lots to talk about. So I can jump in, but does anybody else want to start with their...
Oh yeah. Well, let's do the easy one, because I looked at, so by the way, Hope has a piece of paper in front of her. It's the font size is like 46.
Okay, but fun fact, I didn't actually do that. I was like copy and pasting things that I wanted to remember to talk about. And that was just like the title of...
Okay.
And you have bad eyesight.
But I have bad eyesight, and we're looking at getting LASIK.
Okay. So I saw it on there, and I had it as one of my clips or articles is the partnership, recent partnership between Peloton and Lululemon.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
I told Hope about that one.
And I
stole it.
I'm bringing this up.
No, I didn't
That
steal
was
it.
mine.
Matt said it.
He came ready, locked, and loaded with that.
This is easy
you took it right
because
from underneath him.
You stole it.
I have two guilty parties of us.
Wait,
who
are we sitting
gung
there?
ho about Peloton, the bike. And we love Lululemon too. I've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Love it.
So how do we feel? Peloton during COVID was the stock went through the roof, and then it's had some hardship. The treadmill was a tough go because there were some issues with.
They got it recalled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hasn't really totally bounced back. And then Lululemon, of which we've loved for a while. I haven't really tracked their stock, but they have the mirror, which was like their
it's
piece
so
of work.
stupid.
And that sucked too.
Yeah.
So
Don't you think the mirror is dumb?
And then I read that these two companies were like in a legal battle amongst each other because I think Lulu was saying that Peloton was taking some of their brand likeness and some of
Yeah. So I actually have a little segment here.
Okay.
I was going to like put you into this and then bring out this. So Peloton took Lululemon to court in 2021 to seek confirmation that its line of activewear did not infringe on Lululemon's patents, and that any claims that Lululemon makes to their contrary are invalid. They actually have been in and out of legal battles.
Yeah. So they've opted to settle by partnering.
Yeah. Is that funny? So I guess.
Good lesson.
They reached a settlement with Peloton, Lulu did, in last October, as they their trademark disputes, which also included allegations that the exercise equipment maker copied several of the apparel's company's designs.
Yeah.
So they've been like frenemies, basically.
I mean, that sounds stupid.
They also,
to you, Matt, like Peloton's not a clothing brand.
No, but I always like when you see like the instructors on there. I've seen them all with, they have like Nike clothes on, but there's like a Peloton logo on their clothes. So I just assume that they just, similar to like what a lot of companies do,
they put
get their logos and go through that process. But I didn't realize this was a whole infringement ordeal.
Well, and they've, like I said, they've been going back and forth with other things too. But also, you guys will relate to this. Their Peloton instructors will become Lululemon ambassadors.
Yeah, 25% off.
I was like, Matt and Steven Stetson are ambassadors.
So the clothes are going to be co-branded?
I don't know. I honestly,
or it's just Lulu makes it and it's
Lulu
Peloton's
makes
logo.
it. No, I think it's just going to be Lulu.
no, I think
they'll have a Peloton logo, and I would imagine
so?
that they'll have like a Peloton line.
No,
because you can buy Peloton apparel on.
And Lulu does that a lot.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So also, I read if you have memberships to do Lulu classes, now they'll be doing Peloton classes.
Like the Mirror's going to have some of the instructors from Peloton on.
No, I think they're discontinuing the Mirror.
Yeah, there's no more Mirror.
Yeah, they're not making the Mirror anymore. It'll be officially done
though.
at the end of the year.
I get the instructors for the bike, but do you need an instructor for the treadmill? Doesn't it seem weird?
Isn't the treadmill been recalled?
No, they treat it like a run.
I think they have the same classes.
Run with a group?
No, they do like
that is
speed.
they'll say they'll be like, put your incline up, then you're gonna sprint, then you're gonna slow down. I've done like the jogging,
hand-holding right there.
Yeah, well, people need it.
Well, snowflakes.
Ultimately, that's why
Peloton is about. It's not even about the equipment. It's about the community that they've built. That's why people love Peloton.
Yeah,
they like joining with. Like I think we are not a good example of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do join like at certain times, like with certain people, and it's this competitive community.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Well, but what really helped Peloton take off was those cycle wards and cycle classes.
Well, no, the Peloton
do those
bike,
exist anymore? I don't think they do.
What do you mean?
I don't think so.
The Peloton bike is high quality.
It is.
Great bike.
Very high quality.
That's a great product.
People love, like, that's why wearing a Peloton jacket is like the Peloton community like loves it.
And I get it because it's a great bike.
Yeah.
The bike are great too. I mean, it's a solid product, but I don't get the treadmill and the other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, because there's not a lot of other high quality bikes like that out there, but there's lots of treadmills.
Right.
Lots of them.
I guess. And but like there's a lot of treadmills for different purposes.
Yeah.
Do you know what feature I used to love on Peloton and it went away? I don't know if it's back because I haven't dabbled in it in a while, but you used to be able to
high five.
No, like
I still do that.
FaceTime. It was like I called into a couple of my friends. Yeah. And you can.
It was so weird. Diamond and I did that one time.
Oh, really?
We're just like watching.
You're just watching each other like huff and puff.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird.
Mike
too.
liked
I'm
it.
glad they got
Look
rid
at
of
Matt.
that.
Look at he loved
you like
Matt.
Matt Mike liked it.
I wasn't calling to have high five friendship time with Diamond. We were
Date
talking
night with Mike.
smack. And it was,
you know what? That's like they also used to play hockey together, so they probably did the same thing during workouts.
Chirping each other.
Yeah.
well, Mike would disappear off the screen. I don't think he actually did the ride. I think that's for sure.
That's hilarious.
Anyways.
He's like, I put my towel over it. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So another thing in the news that I read, would love your guys' thoughts on. Toys R Us is planning a brick and mortar comeback in the U.S. with up to 24 new flagship stores.
Is 24 a lot?
Yeah, I don't think so. But why?
Like half the country.
Yeah, I mean every state.
Well, but they were like one of the fastest growing franchises in the world at one point.
I don't
What-
think it's a
And then
franchise.
What's
Amazon
the-
crushed them
Oh,
like
it's not?
they do everybody.
Yeah. What's the rebirth for? What's
My guess is it's kind of going to be like the FAO Schwartz, like in New York, where it's like the toy store is like, you know, this experience.
That's so interesting.
But it is interesting.
They're trying to.
Well, and I think they were bought out by someone. Does anybody know who?
I don't know.
I thought it
No,
was
I
like
think they were big
Macy's.
I thought it was
No.
Macy's.
Macy's.
I think it was.
I think it was somebody like
Yeah.
a big
And they were
department
going to
store,
add on one of their floors
like a Toys R Us section.
I thought I heard.
Do you guys remember the Disney store in the malls? That was the best.
I think they still have some.
Oh, they do? Oh, good. All right. Does anybody, moving on to the next thing, because that was short lived, does anybody know anything about what's going on with the strike with Ford? You guys read up on that? If the answer is no, this is
for
going to get awkward.
the EV.
Just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, guys, it's like a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
How many people are on strike?
So it's actually getting worse and worse. This last week, it was kind of like he said, she said, like, you know, oh, like someone's like giving updates on it, and then Ford would come back and be like, that's not true. They're not even showing up to negotiations. It's like kind of getting
Yeah.
ugly. But do you know much about that? Any comments?
Well, from like a union perspective, it's like what's it called? It's the U something. Is it worker? what's the acronym?
UAW. I don't know the acronym.
Is it? But was it's,
United Auto Workers.
Yeah.
But is that a union?
I think so. Yeah. It's the United Auto Workers Union is holding up negotiations with Ford Motor over EV battery plants. Ford CEO Jim Farley said Friday. That's
So-
what
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying. So they say that the efforts that go into making and producing the battery are not really sustainable. So
Oh, really?
it takes so much more energy.
it has to do with a lot
From
with
like
the plant.
from like your
EV
standard
car.
manufacturing line
Mm-hmm.
of a gas powered automobile.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like it's I don't know the stats. I don't have them in front of me, but it was just 10 times
Yeah.
as much manpower.
Yeah.
It had to do with a lot with like the plants and
Yeah.
things like that.
So I remember where I grew up was close to Michigan, to Detroit, and there's a lot of plants there, manufacturing plants for automobiles, the big three, so like GM, Ford, etc. And I feel like there'd be a cycle of union strikes, and it would be around the time, and I may be misinformed here, but when they would have like these plants would manufacture like a certain vehicle. So if it was like GM, like the Tahoe is manufactured in Windsor, Ontario, or whatever, Canada. And when they would retool and get set up for another vehicle, and it was, you know, whatever that was, they would be oftentimes in sync with a potential strike based off of the union and the labor because of demands or whatever for a said vehicle. So I don't think it's super uncommon for there to be pushback on expectations and demand for what they're trying to retool and get in production. But the EV side of it, I don't know how much more it entails than a normal gas vehicle. So
Yeah. So how does this affect? Because everyone's saying that this is a big deal for cars because they're stopping, obviously, manufacturing them for the time being. So does that mean in 6 months from now, cars are going to be super high like they were? Remember in like 2021, it was like
'Cause
kind
of
of
chips and
crazy.
stuff.
Yeah.
Is it going to go back to that?
I
Like
don't know if
car
it goes back
prices are
to
gonna go
that.
up?
I just remember like 2021, you're in COVID, you couldn't. I mean, we all had to get vehicles at that time, and it was nuts because everything shut down. Anything that was coming from overseas was not happening. We couldn't get chips. Inventory was down.
And used cars went up.
Yeah, because there was no inventory.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Is that going to happen again? That's my question.
Is it just Ford?
No, I think it's the big three from what I read.
I mean, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I guess it depends on how fast the strike is over.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a depressing conversation.
yeah. Well, sorry. Okay. Well,
Okay, I'm going to cut in
okay, go.
because I want to get your guys' opinion on this because we all use iPhones. iPhone 15 just dropped.
Yeah.
We love Apple products, right? We can all agree to that. What's interesting though is, so I read there's like an issue with them overheating the iPhone 15.
Oh no.
And
People-
exploding.
I
Did you
never
see
said that, but is that
Oh.
is
Did
that
you just make
happening
that
now?
up? Are you
No, I
are you
heard-
joking?
I heard that.
I heard
Like
they
ex-
crack easy.
So there's a lot, right? But this is what I don't
Wait,
understand.
so are we gonna get them? Because I was
Someone told me that if you leave your iPhone plugged in a bed, it explodes.
iPhone
What?
15 or is iPhones?
All of them.
All of them?
No one's safe.
There's no way that's true.
Yeah, we'll get that person on this podcast. They live to tell the story.
But it was like,
And
just
I was like,
pop?
no way, that's not true. And I Googled it and it's true. I was like,
Wait, you were in the same room with this person?
yeah. Her
Like
name's
a
Kristen
pop?
Klein, shout
Oh
out.
my gosh. That's crazy.
Anyways, so this is my struggle because, I mean, I don't want to call it brand loyalty because some of it's stupidity, but every time, first of all, whenever a new iPhone comes out, I mean, it's always a camera upgrade.
Better camera,
and
better battery.
a new
more storage.
charging system and storage.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And an
nothing
extra
is
accessory.
changing. And I feel like everybody who is not an Apple user is like, those are the crappiest phones
Yeah, like
of all
what's
time.
new? What's
No,
really new?
The reason why people buy it, it's the same reason why Hope and I got the last one we did is they give you this ridiculous trade-in credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're programmed to start failing when you're ready for an upgrade.
So
Yeah.
I think they're
Or-
offering what, like $750 for a used
Yeah, and
phone?
honestly,
Yeah.
if you go,
great.
It's genius.
It's genius.
Very sustainable model for them.
Well, they're making
Yeah.
money. It must
They
be.
they recycle the parts.
Yeah, because everybody's phones are exploding, so they need the parts.
So I mean, that's why it's a beautiful business model. That's
Yeah.
why I mean they're always
recycling it.
recycling it and
Yeah.
making money, and you're buying new phones.
But I agree. They haven't come out with anything that's really been a game changer.
no,
In the
okay,
several
but
years.
would you jump
Definitely
to
not.
like a Galaxy?
No.
no,
Or
definitely not.
what's
We're
it-
all locked in.
But
What's the
ask me
Google
why.
phone?
Ask me why.
Yeah, why?
Because I don't want a green bubble.
And
What?
I don't want a green bubble when I
That's
text.
the reason?
And it's like I like FaceTime.
that's a good question.
I like
do
Apple
you,
Pay.
That's not why.
but do you a little bit judge people
Yes.
when you text somebody with
Yeah.
a green bubble?
Yes.
I a little bit judge people.
I don't think I judge them.
Why do you
I
have a green
just-
bubble?
I think I.
No, I think they don't
I
have
think they know.
service.
I think they know something we.
Well, they must be flying.
I think they're smarter than us, actually.
No,
No, they are.
They know something we don't.
Yeah, they are because they actually care about
Like
the
technology.
functionality.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but
It's
look at-
the
look at-
user friendly.
My phone is asteroid gray though.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. More about like actual
It doesn't
software.
sync to your desktop computer. Doesn't sync
Right.
to your. I mean, I can.
Okay,
Well,
that's
I
that's
can
my
text
reason.
on my computer.
That's my reason is that it's all
Right.
synced.
That's my
You know?
reason too.
Yeah, but I have a
Pay
Mac.
with my phone.
I have a Mac, and on my Mac, I have all of Microsoft's applications
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
downloaded onto my Mac.
You know what's
Exactly.
funny about that? You and Stetson
Ye-
need to switch.
Yeah, that's
Because Stetson has a
true.
Microsoft computer, but so nothing. I'm like, I don't get it. Nothing's synced. He doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
That's not
Well,
very
that's a
smart.
different
no.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
you're
lack
the
of
opposite.
efficiency.
Yours don't sync too because of the same reasoning. Because you've all Microsoft.
No,
I mean, I
but I
can't
don't know
sync
if
to Apple.
Microsoft.
Oh,
Android's not owned by Microsoft.
I was just saying
I thought
Google
it was separate.
phones. Well, even Google phones. Like, why do we look down upon Google phones? We love Google, don't we?
I know. I'm a big Google fan.
Yeah,
What do you like about Google?
like Google Drive.
We just use it for all of our software.
Google Drive.
Yeah, everything's integrated on Google.
Google does some
Google-
good things well.
Google Docs are great.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so in light of talking about technology and also coming off of the car conversation,
AI.
did you guys know the world's first electric aircraft flight powered by new liquid hydrogen flew 3 hours?
Okay.
So-
It's not the first electric flight, but liquid hydrogen. It said liquid hydrogen.
It said the world's first electric aircraft.
Powered
Fully electric?
by-
Yeah, fully electric. Yeah, fully electric. The aircraft powered by liquid hydrogen has taken place. Isn't that-
Wow.
If
I
it's
didn't- honestly
powered
didn't
by
know we were
liquid
doing that.
hydrogen, then it's not 100% electric.
I don't know. That's what it said. That was the headline.
What's your source?
Where did you get that from?
What's your source?
Oh,
Drop it.
She's like TikTok.
Is that
Wait, I
TikTok?
actually
Did
didn't
you get
know that
from
you were
TikTok?
wanting me to source everything.
No,
but
I want to
can't
know
do
your
that.
source.
I don't know. It was all over.
I'm kidding.
all over the internet.
Google it.
Anyways, I
kidding.
thought that was interesting, but also kind of would freak me out to fly on an electric airline.
Why? What freaks you out about that?
Why?
I don't know. Char lost electricity in her last flight.
Guys, that was crazy. Yeah. If I want to make a great story, yes.
Yeah.
But even in that airline, we were in the sky, and you always have this moment when you're in the sky where you're like, I'm in a metal tube in the middle of the air.
Every single time you fly, I don't think I have. that.
Basically every time. But the air suddenly went off, and it got like super quiet. And then the pilot came on and was like, attendants, get to your jump seats.
But
They
you're
said
on
jump-
the ground.
and they were giving away snacks, and they all started shuffling with their carts to the back. and we were like
Wait, is this
freaking out.
in the air?
Yes.
Oh.
So no, I probably wouldn't go on that because I don't even know how safe airplanes are anymore.
I think they're
There's
pretty
jump
safe.
seats now.
Wait, that's what they're always called, or that's just what they're newly called?
I don't know. That's
I
just
think
what they said.
We just sound stupid now
And then
talking
they
about
said-
airlines.
No. You guys already had this conversation.
No, what was that airline that you saw that's like a private jet, but you can go on it like last second and it's cheap and you skip all the security?
No way is that true.
Yes, the CEO of Charity Water posted about it, and I did a deep dive. They have one in Miami.
It's
and
funny
there's
that you-
very select airports that they go to, but it's like you could get like a $300 one way to
No
certain
way.
cities, and it's basically private.
Oh my
Flights.
goodness.
It's unreal.
Wait, $300
You know
isn't
about
that
that?
But one
expensive?
way, so you'd spend about $600 to $700 round trip, which I'm like,
Worth it.
I pay that now to go to California
Lacey's
sometimes.
paying $400 to go from San Diego to LA. Oh, no,
No
not
Out in
line.
Lacey.
No, Los Angeles.
Yeah,
or
that's
No
Vegas.
lines.
Vegas.
Like very little security, full food and beverage,
Incredible.
What's it called?
Starlink internet.
Starlink internet. I can't
That's
remember
not
what
what
it's called.
What's it called?
No, I
Right?
can Google
Look it up.
Hold on.
That's Musk's internet.
No, I'm saying.
But they go from here to Houston, New York, like all these big cities, and
Wow.
they have
Crazy.
two. Actually, we can get on 1 and 2 in Miami.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to end with. I have a couple more things.
whoa.
Matt has a couple.
I got a really fun one.
We got to talk about X.
What about it?
I don't like that they rebranded. Are you talking about Twitter?
It's so much better than Twitter.
Oh, I can't. You can't
Yeah,
rebrand that stuff.
But the
It's gotta
latest
be
is so there's some theories, but Musk has come out and said that he's considering subscription based.
Oh, he's been saying
for-
that for a while, though.
But yeah, and his theory is because he wants to mitigate bots and fake accounts and domains into expert. And also they're saying that it's hemorrhaging cash. So
Yeah.
it's a way
Yeah.
to
I think that's a bigger
Did you see
reason.
what they just added
What did they just
on
add?
X? It's recruiting platform.
really. So it's like
Yeah.
LinkedIn within X.
Oh, interesting.
Tesla's the test
Interesting.
That is interesting.
case. So yeah, it's really cool.
Fun.
Do you guys have Twitter?
I use it for clients and things like that, but
No.
not as much. Stetson's a big Twitter guy.
X.
Would you guys pay for it?
Oh no, I
No.
don't use it enough.
If it offered new things.
I think might sound
As
sexist.
it is now.
We should
No.
use it, but we don't.
This might sound
Do you use it,
sexist,
Matt?
but I think it's a man's
Have you
thing.
ever?
What?
Have you
I
ever
do.
used
I
it?
think it's like a
But Matt,
sports.
if they
Have you
could,
ever used it?
Yeah.
Matt, if they could
tweet.
if they could add to it.
Free mustache, right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
That has to be bleeped
Okay,
out.
no.
Just bleep it out.
Why?
You can't have it in the world.
But now everyone's gonna go look it up.
You gotta
All
bleep.
3 people who listen, one being my
Yeah.
mother.
Oh gosh,
Mama
that's
Bear.
terrible. All right, fun fact about
Wait.
Oh, what?
It's called JSX. Welcome to all air, no lines, the world's only 5-star hop-on jet service.
Okay, do
There's
a
a
quick
bunch of
quote.
those.
Miami to
The problem is the dates. You look this up and it's like, oh,
no last minute
They're
dates.
all available.
you said.
I'm following them. A lot of my friends are following them. 11 people.
Yeah.
Do we know anyone that's used this service before?
Char
It's
works
Scott
with
Harrison.
somebody. Char works with somebody.
From, okay,
Charity
you can
Water
go
guy.
from
I feel like he gets
Miami, Opelika to lots of places,
West Palm.
guys.
Okay, give us one.
Dallas,
Okay, do Dallas
How much is it?
round trip. When do you want to leave?
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, $439.
No
My
way.
gosh. that's
I'm sorry,
shocking.
$479.
No way.
But that's just
One way.
Just put it on the card.
You're probably the
no. That's return. Oh my
No
God.
way.
No, that's probably one way.
I'm blown away.
Okay, no return date. When do you want to return?
The next day.
Okay, that's more
Okay,
expensive because it's Saturday and
honestly-
Sunday, but it's $609.
Not bad.
Honestly, though,
Not bad.
let's talk about this real quick.
It's happening.
Flights
Future's
have,
here.
Flights have
Pretty
gotten
cool.
so expensive that actually doesn't sound that crazy. Like you might pay $350 to go to Dallas on Spirit.
Yeah,
Not
like
Spirit,
why
but
aren't jets doing that more? They'd make so much money.
Well, maybe they'll start.
I don't know, but I feel like the travel industry is definitely coming for an overhaul soon.
Yeah.
It's just crazy right
Got
now.
to.
Okay, speaking of travel, Airbnb news.
I think Matt had some more.
wait, let me just
No?
do this
Yeah.
transition. It was so smooth and then you messed it up.
Okay.
You can now Airbnb in Shrek's swamp in Scotland. You can share swamp stories, eat like an ogre, and in the morning, donkeys making waffles.
You can eat like an ogre?
Ogre.
How much?
What does that mean? What do ogres eat?
No, ogre. I said it right.
What is it that they eat? What's
We
the thing I
recorded
got
it.
in Scotland?
Oh,
Oh, in
the
lamb
blood
intestines.
pudding or
Wasn't called that.
haggis?
Haggis.
Haggis.
No, you gotta say it with the
Blood.
accent.
Haggis.
Haggis.
St.
No, that
Andrews.
That doesn't sound like the accent. You just-
Haggis.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. Actually, I just sent to Shar. There's a whole Airbnb, like fairy tale land in Canada. When you guys are going in for Thanksgiving, I said, Shar, you guys should take the boys there.
Where?
You can stay in like, you know,
It's called
Peter
London.
Pan's like Captain Hook's ship. How cool
Oh,
is
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds really fun. It was very
Can you imagine
magical.
that?
Shar, wasn't it magical? It's
No,
like
I
basically
thought it was
camping.
creepy, actually.
What?
I thought it was creepy.
Did it look
Really?
well
I thought it was
done or
so
kinda
cool.
cheap?
No, very well done.
Cheap.
Cheap.
No. Oh my gosh. It's like $350 a night. It's almost the same price as that ticket to Dallas.
I'd rather do the ticket to Dallas.
Dallas.
That's probably true. All right, Matt, you're up. Matt and I are the only one that brought stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
I was told current events, not current business events.
Okay, what's your current event you
Well,
want to talk about?
let's talk about the obvious
I
one.
want to talk about something else that's not business.
No, let's talk about Tay-Tay and Travis Kelce.
No.
No.
Well,
Oh,
okay.
no. She just said no.
Fine.
Just so you know, we spent 2 nights this week watching the Kelce brothers documentary.
Okay, that has nothing to
Because
do with
He's a
Taylor
sellout.
Swift.
You said that
The only
sellout.
reason
No.
you were
He is a
watching
sellout.
that is
Stop.
because of Travis Kelce.
Pfizer boy.
Also,
You have no idea
I was
who they were.
following Patrick Mahomes.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I respect that.
I actually think.
What do you think
that,
about his commercial for Pfizer?
Babe, everybody's trying to cancel him for it. And it's so stupid.
The double armband day?
No, I
a
don't.
little
I think
odd,
that's
no?
stupid. No, and I don't really want to talk
Mahomes?
about
And
that.
then like a
Okay.
couple weeks later, he starts dating Taylor Swift.
But let me ask this question.
People love Taylor Swift.
Kelsey.
Yeah, it's a
Steve
little
might
odd.
hold strong on this,
A little
but
odd.
if whether or not you're for or against getting the vaccine, if they offered you $7 million, would you do that commercial?
7. He made way more than that.
I'm just asking. What would be what number would you have to get if
Yes.
if you're against getting the
What
vaccine
are you talking about? You're vaccinated. Of course you would.
to promote getting it again?
Why would they pay me $7 million?
I'm just saying.
He's
No,
just-
but
it's
my
a-
question is important because Kelsey makes so much more. So you have to actually say it in proportion to what you already make. So it'd be like, hey, Steve, would you do it for $10,000? No.
Everyone's
I
doing the math
wouldn't.
now.
no, you're
You know?
Travis. You're Travis Kelce. You're
Kelsey's making millions already. There's no, what's another 7 million?
No, there's no
I
way.
mean-
He got paid out for a
You
big
know?
time for that.
So,
Okay. Anyways, Stetson
maybe,
told us
maybe
that
for like 100 million.
Stetson told us that was the only like tweet he made or X. I don't know what they call it now. With that he turned the
a
comments off.
Twex.
Yeah, that they turned the comments off.
Oh, man.
Anyways,
That's so charged.
Did you see the commercial?
no,
it wasn't that
don't
big of
even
a
know what you're
deal.
talking about,
It was
actually.
terrible.
no, it wasn't. Okay, I'm cutting this
Terrible.
out because you're being annoying about it. Stop.
No, keep it
This
in, keep it
this is
in.
what will
This
get
is
you
what
views.
people
No, we're not.
People want the
Not.
truth.
Okay.
Do
Taylor.
not cut that out.
No, I'm in charge of it. You can't tell the camera.
We're in charge of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what you do when one agenda cancels our voices.
Okay.
Exactly. Cancel.
Do you guys think that
cancel.
do you think it's rigged?
Cancel.
What's
What?
rigged?
The Pfizer commercial?
No,
like, are we
the
in the
world.
Matrix?
Stop talking about the Pfizer commercial.
talk about
Talking about you said it,
Can we talk about
generally said, do you think it's rigged?
Do you think Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce thing is real, or do you think it's all a PR
Show?
stunt?
No,
a
I
PR
think-
stunt.
I think nobody cares what we think
Okay,
about
then
it.
let's stop talking.
No. I'm going to give you a different perspective. I think Travis Kelce needs to be careful because if they break up or it's like
Yeah,
he
he's
breaks
not
up with
wrong.
her and he gets so much more media attention.
Steve, don't do that.
I mean, all of a sudden he's dropping footballs on the football field. Mahomes not giving the ball anymore. Not winning Super Bowls.
You gotta fix your
You're
hair.
gonna have a real issue.
This is ending bad.
Okay.
Real quick. I'm telling you, Hope, we need to add the Pfizer thing in here. You will get views.
Okay.
Trust me.
Thank
Let's
you.
just ask the audience what their opinion is.
You'll go from 4 viewers to at least 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
Double, whatever
Okay.
you're getting. So we're gonna do something with it. Should we redo that take?
No. Okay. This is the only thing is that she dated a guy for 6 years, and we have more photos of her and Travis Kelce in the last week that we do of the guy she dated for 6
Who did
years.
she
Who'd
date for
she
6
date?
years?
Huh?
Who did
Who?
she date?
Nobody knows.
His name is, I
Her?
forget his name. What? No, it wasn't a girl. That was a different time.
You forget his name? Was he famous?
What's his name?
John Mayer?
No.
Was he famous?
Yes, he's an actor in England.
So no one knows who he
No,
is.
he's very famous. But my point is that she wants to be seen and known.
the guy in Marvel.
What?
The Marvel guy.
No.
Hawkeye?
Gosh. No. No. Oh my gosh, this is so
No, it's
embarrassing.
the guy who plays Thor's brother. They dated.
Yes,
Loki?
they did.
No.
Yeah, they did.
Loki.
Date. Yes.
Well, no
dated
wonder
Loki.
why no one took
And she
pictures of her
dated
and
John
Loki.
Mayer.
nobody cares.
She dated
No one
John Mayer
cares.
too.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
There's a second John Mayer?
Joe Ulrin.
Okay. No one knows.
that?
No one can say his
Yeah,
last name.
no,
Of course they didn't take pictures of him.
No, everybody knows her last boyfriend. This
Who
was
cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Anyways,
Did you see him?
okay.
Not Travis Kelce.
Anyways,
It's not a Kelsey.
I think that there's something up with like their positioning something. I
Is
don't
it
know.
the Pfizer?
No.
They're trying to. The election's coming up.
No, I actually think that maybe she was looking at doing the Super Bowl halftime show. This is what I read.
Oh my
Can
God.
I guys,
We gotta
what?
stop this.
Can I tell
We
you guys
sound
something
so
crazy?
stupid.
This is.
You
Taylor
Don't cut
Swift,
this
if
out.
she wants to do the halftime thing, she makes one phone call.
Yeah.
She doesn't date. She's
think-
bigger than.
She's
I agree with
selling
that.
out.
You
Yeah.
think that
Bigger
Taylor
arenas.
Swift? Wait, time out. You
Oh my
think that
gosh.
Taylor Swift said, "I wanted to do the Super Bowl halftime show, so I'm gonna pretend to
Date a
date
Chiefs
Travis
guy."
Kelce"?
No, I don't
Come on.
think that. I'm
No.
saying
Obviously,
Hope
she would
this
date
is
someone on the
Travis
Miami
Kelce
Dolphins.
wouldn't do the Pfizer commercial for $7 million alone, so they said $7 million plus a little T Swift.
Tay-Tay.
Okay, we're cutting all that out because
Why?
that's ridiculous. Okay. So, but I will say that back to Matt's point about Travis being careful. I read somewhere that like there's 150 million.
She also did Calvin Harris.
Yeah, she dated a lot of guys.
He's cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
They wrote some songs together.
They met in the summer.
Oh,
That one makes sense.
okay. That her fan base and the NFL fan base, she actually has a larger fan base than the NFL does. And that you're basically pinning the two largest fan bases against each other so that in the wake of a breakup, that's a big deal. So there's like 150,000
Why?
or 150 million.
They stay
East
loyal to
fans.
their own tribes.
Yeah, hope.
No, 'cause then they
we're
hate each
thinking
other.
too
No
much into it.
cross-pollination.
No, wrong.
Okay.
No one cares.
I didn't bring up Taylor Swift. Matt did, so he can land
Yeah,
this
Matt
plane.
Yeah, but
did.
you're really going deep.
I'm going deep. You obviously don't want to talk about
I
this.
think it inappropriate.
All right.
How's your thing?
Matt or Steve, what was the other things that you want to talk about? My what?
Your throat. Can I ask
Yes.
a question that
Yes.
has nothing to do with anything that this podcast has covered so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been something I've been thinking about a lot. Okay. I've been having a lot of conversations. And I'm curious to hear
here
your
we go.
opinions.
Can
Ready?
you? Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
I like this.
In social settings.
Okay.
Steve's like, never mind. In social settings, how do you guys navigate small talk?
I don't.
Depends with who.
How do you
As a
engage a
couple or
person?
singly?
No, I'm very
Single.
good.
Oh,
Single.
okay.
Like, what are some key tips on engaging someone in small talk in a way that like makes them feel
I
important?
love this question.
And seen. There's like a bunch of tips out there on the internet. Most of them
Okay.
are weird.
Why have you
here's the
Googled
secret.
this?
You first need to find out, do they have kids or not?
Yeah, that's a big
Kids is a
icebreaker.
good
You gotta know.
conversation
You
starter.
gotta know, are there kids or no kids? If there's no kids and you ask about kids, big mistake.
Yeah, Steve's done that before.
If there's no kids and you ask about kids, then what do you do?
No,
What's the
Steve feels
pivot?
very awkward when he
you don't
does
do
that.
it. You have to
Yeah.
find out ahead of time if you're going to use this one. If they have kids, you always talk about the kids.
But
People
that's a-
love talking about the kids.
That's a planned
Doesn't matter who it
interaction.
is.
Okay, but what are like
Small
so
talk.
So you're
Second, location. Where are you from?
Oh yeah, that's easy.
You know,
Yeah.
tell me about that.
then what do you
That's almost though. That's not very deep. It
Those
feels
are
like
good.
you're just talking
No,
about
we're
weather.
talking about small talk.
No, I know, but I feel like that's a short-lived
not true.
conversation.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can go along with that.
Not really. They're like,
Matt's
I'm from
London. Tell me about London. Oh, but
You know what I always this is I don't okay. This is outing me. Pretty much anybody I meet who's like from the area and like they work in a similar circle as I do, whether or not I've met them before, I always say, "You look have we met before?"
Really?
Worse,
Every
though.
time.
Why do you do that?
That's not a good one because then what if they're like, yeah, we've met 3 times.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I'm
Then you're
like,
in
wait,
trouble.
we've met before. Have we met before?
No,
Like,
Matt goes, yeah, that's it. I've seen Matt do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I
I've
do
seen
all
you
the
do
time.
that, Matt.
I think I've seen that do that.
But what does that
with your
do?
friends.
What does that do?
I did it with Hope for a year, and then we're
Okay,
dating.
I guess my bigger question is like sometimes you meet people and you just feel like connected.
Yeah.
Why? And then sometimes you meet people
That's
and
a
you're like,
personality thing.
No, you know
You're
what the
weird.
worst thing is?
this is like I'm trying to get out of this conversation.
I do this a lot.
No, that's true.
Wait, what's your
Why?
question?
What makes
you
people
think,
feel
though-
genuine and what makes people feel like I'm just asking about the weather? No offense, Steve.
Yeah.
I've never really gotten in a situation. I think
Well, I thought we were trying to ask those questions because, you're stuck with that person. So you're just trying to
Keep
Are
the
you-
conversation
yeah,
going.
Yeah, you actually want to have a good conversation with somebody?
Yeah, like how do you like
I think that I'm
how do
someone
you
that
optimize
people.
your small talk?
Okay.
I think
that's
people-
a different question.
I
Okay.
think people look at me like I feel like I come off genuine.
Oh wait, why? Have you been told that before?
Because
I wouldn't disagree.
I think I just kind
I
of
think
like
you're warm.
know how to have a conversation
Yeah,
with
but
strangers.
But with
But what is
strangers,
it?
you're good about that. But with people sort of, people
Wait.
think you come across a little cold. Is what I get.
People do not
like
tell
that.
you that. I'm your wife. No one would come up to you and be like, your wife feels cold.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no,
Bitch.
I've heard it. I've heard it secondhand.
That's not true at
But
all.
then I found out that the reason you come across cold is because your eyesight is poor
so kind of
and you don't really see people.
This all
Yeah.
sounds totally made up.
No, this is all true.
To be
Makes
honest,
sense.
Steve,
It's all
you
true.
come off a little weird.
I probably do.
He's like, because I actually don't care.
There are times that you do not want to engage with somebody, and Matt, you do this too. Maybe it's a man thing, and it comes off like
No,
F off.
Shar has to give me like a pep talk before we go to places.
You both,
I'm like,
if you're not engaged with the
Yeah, if
conversation, you
he's
guys
too quiet,
check
I
out.
get
Pretend to
really
care.
mad.
I
pretend
get-
to care. But
Yeah.
you want to talk about rules of engagement? Because we'll go in social settings.
because here's
we'll
the
go to
thing.
your social settings, and you'll see somebody you know, and I'll stand behind you for 5 minutes, and you want to introduce me. I'll be like,
Well, okay, in
Well,
Matt's
also,
defense,
that's
your-
weird. You should introduce yourself.
What your
no. If you rules of engagement, if you know somebody, if I know a group of people and you're my wife, hey guys, I want you to meet my wife. Blah blah
Right.
blah.
Yeah,
Because
I am
y'all
bad
have
in
benefits
I'll
to
own
you.
that. I'll own that. I am bad
Okay.
in
Also,
Yeah, you gotta do
this
that.
is a unique scenario with Shar and Matt because Shar's social settings is fairly like 80% pretty serious because of her line of work. And so when she brings Matt in,
serious.
Matt's line of work is not like it is serious, but it's like
Matt's line of work is a
no,
joke.
it's not a joke, but it's not. They're not like sitting there having these like soul conversations like you are having. So Matt's like, hey, like. Nice to meet you. What's going on? And
Okay, but-
it's just
But you're
weird.
not
Let me go
gonna-
back to my
you're not
original
gonna
question.
connect
Do you
with
agree with
everybody.
that?
I agree
No,
with that.
you know.
And what makes people feel important though? Like how
Why do you always
you
feel important?
See, that's what I'm saying. You're not a very
I don't
serious.
understand.
because
Like, I can say-
relationships matter.
But I can exchange pleasantries with you and be like, hey, we just got put in this situation where I'm talking to you for 2 minutes. What do you do? Where are you from? Oh, great. Hey, I'm
But
gonna
how do
go
you do
walk-
that in a way that's really genuine?
Literally say, oh, hey, I'm Matt. Are you from here? You're local? Okay, great. Where do you work? Oh, awesome. I work in this industry. Oh, great. Yeah, crazy market right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you guys are doing awesome work. Heard
Nice
a lot
to meet
about
you.
I'm going to walk around the rest of the room and find my wife. We'll connect later. Good seeing
But that's
you.
Okay,
a lie. You're not going to connect
bye.
later. That's a lie.
To Matt's point,
It's not
though,
genuine. That's
you,
disingenuous.
You know what I think makes it genuine? You have to be kind of somewhat of a well-informed person and know not only around your surroundings, but the people in the room and just like what's going on in the world. If you're just in your like hermit world and focused on yourself, like it's hard to have conversations with people outside
No,
of that.
but the person who gets
Asking
too
good
deep-
questions.
Yeah.
No,
you have
But
to
you need to
ask
be well
good
informed.
Agree. I don't agree.
Question, Shar. Or do you know? Are these surprise visits that you're talking about, or is it like, oh, I'm meeting with so and so,
Right.
I want to have a good conversation,
Or
with
somebody that
person?
you want to intentionally
because those are
meet.
two different things.
Yeah, because
Like, is it just a random
Both.
person? Both.
if we're going out with somebody that Steve knows and I don't, on the way there, he'll give me a couple of like, hey, this is what's going on with this. This is who their family is. That I don't know. He'll just give me like information so that I have things to go off of. Mm-hmm. They just have.
But you kind of prep a little bit.
You got to prep
for if you're being intentional.
Yeah.
Well, even with some of the meetings that I've had recently, our team like puts together a full bio.
Then you have things to talk about.
Yeah.
You have things to talk about.
But I would not say that even in that setting, you like, hey, this person's going to be there tonight. I want to meet them and be intentional. The intent of a meeting in a social setting like that is to introduce yourself, get connected with them, exchange contact information, to then set up a more intentional meeting. Good. Don't have the meeting at the party while they're handing out hors d'oeuvres.
Right.
And you're like, so tell me about your scaling plan.
Right.
It's like, shut up.
Nobody cares.
Also,
this is not the time. This is the time to make a good impression.
Leave me alone.
There's also like a baseline
That's
of
good,
like
Matt.
when you're engaging with somebody, like looking them in the face and being interested in what they're saying and not thinking while they're talking or looking at your phone. I mean, that's just like rule 101.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think she's talking about more than just that.
Okay. What's your biggest pet peeve in the small talk, in the parties and the mingling?
When people ask they ask too many questions,
Or
and they
becomes a job
occupy
interview.
my time, and it's like
Or
we've been
get
talking
too
for
deep.
40 minutes.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, now how do I get out of this?
Well, I just get out of it.
How do you gauge though? Or do I want to get out of this? Do we both want to get out of this?
No,
the older I've gotten, the more comfortable I've gotten. Yeah, like the more I've done these things, I'm like, hey,
lower 30s.
I gotta go. I always have
What?
an out.
So you moonwalk away?
I'll be like,
it's not that hard to get out of a
I
conversation.
don't want to derail this. This is great. I have your information. Let's follow up. I gotta get back to my table. We're gonna go whatever, or they're about to start, or
do you always feel the pressure to exchange contact information?
No.
Yeah, he did reference
It's
that
just like, great
multiple
to see you.
times.
This is good to know too.
Like, that's okay.
This is good to know too. I don't carry a business card.
No.
Whoa.
That's not a power move. It's
Power move.
You don't either.
I don't either.
No, I don't carry a business card. And people might agree with that or might not.
Gary Keller, who's the founder of Keller Williams, said that.
Oh, really?
He goes, never carry a business
Gary
card.
Bear
Why?
on the same page.
He said if you carry a business card, then you take away the excuse to ask the other person for their number. So you're handing them hoping they contact you.
Right.
And instead of like, hey, we should follow up. I don't know my business card on me. What's your email?
No, yeah,
and I'll
business
follow up with you.
Business cards are kind of
That's a
old
great
school.
point.
They're kind of dumb. Actually,
So one's more
Yeah.
proactive, one's more hoping that they reach out.
The
great point.
No, but Matt keeps kind of referencing conversations where you're like standing there and able to walk away. The worst are when you're at like a group thing and you're like stuck at a table for like 2 or 3 hours and you're like, I've tapped out of everything I can talk about. What do I say now? I usually go to shows.
Back to the kids.
No, I go to the shows.
Oh,
Yeah,
unless they don't have
shows
kids.
are a good.
Or travel, or animals, or animals.
Do they have dogs?
Politics.
No.
Wait, but
Unless
what are the
you
things?
for sure know where they
Yeah.
stand on
Yeah.
something, then you can kind of probe.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
you're at a
What are the
function.
pet
What do you think is
peeves
crazy about
Pet
X?
peeves?
within the small talk? I have one.
What is it?
When you're talking to someone and they're looking around the room. Bye.
Oh yeah, obviously that's
But
just
people,
rude.
but a lot
That's
of people
not
do
pet
it.
peeve. That's just rude.
That is rude.
Yeah, but maybe you need to do a little self-assessment there.
Maybe do some self-assessment.
Like, hey,
I don't do that.
You've been talking to me a lot.
But maybe you've been talking too much.
And like I'm here, I have an agenda here. I've prepped for the couple people I need to meet while I'm here, and that person's walking by. And you're
there's-
talking to me about animals.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest,
I need to go talk to them.
Nobody's looking around.
Non-profit.
These are good questions, though.
Nobody's looking around the room within the first 3 minutes.
No,
of a
I know people.
conversation.
I can picture people in my head right now that do that.
But are
within
those
the first,
people that you need to
the
have
first
a
3-minute conversation?
Continued conversation with.
They're not technically people I enjoy.
No, but those people that's like the first thing you're like, hey, how's
But
it
some people
going?
are
They're
just
looking
like
around.
that. Yeah.
But I
Usually
think those people,
narcissists.
unless you have to have a relationship with them, maybe it's not good that
Also,
you
Yeah, like, you
no
know,
offense, but nonprofit people are kind of weird. You know what I'm talking about? They're just like
business people.
But this is also
A lot of
so to
people
your
are
point,
weird.
So you're asking.
People are weird.
People are very weird.
In social settings, you realize how weird social settings actually are.
we kind of forgot about that during COVID, and then we went back into it, and we're like, still weird.
Like most of us in conversations are just thinking about ourselves, or like the next thing I'm going to say,
That's
or
what
the
I'm doing
next
right
person
now.
I'm going to talk to.
I was just about to ask if anybody else is doing that.
like, if we're being really honest, that's what we're all doing.
yeah,
Nobody actually
Self-serving
cares.
Conversation.
Speaking of, I think this conversation has come to an end.
No, this is what I'll end on.
I think Shar brought up some good stuff.
No, I mean the conversation.
The current event things.
Yeah, people can
You
read
just
that
want
stuff.
Well,
talk
only
about-
2 people brought topics, but we'll point
This is the second podcast you showed
I
up
didn't
not
even get an
prepared.
opportunity to bring my topic.
Matt
My current
took it.
event was: do you agree with Coach McDaniel's decision not to go for the all-time scoring record?
I do.
Oh, that's a good conversation.
Oh, no, I don't.
Why?
So
We wasted too much time on the front end.
Yeah. So it's fourth
Or we
down.
talked about
they're in field goal
speaking
range,
etiquette.
clearly field goal range, extra point.
Yeah, why didn't they
size.
take that? They should have.
Well, that's the question. Is it respectful?
He didn't
to-
really have an answer either.
No,
I
did?
think the guy. I think
What
the
did he
other
say?
coach.
He said that they have different goals than beating an all-time points
He
record.
didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
He had
he
his
might
post
have
game
said
speech.
that. but-
check.
Yeah, he did say
but
that.
should a goal be to be historic? if
No,
you have the
because
opportunity
I think it's more of a power move. If you know the backstory on him and the Broncos and what's his face,
Film boy.
Film boy didn't even get an interview from them for the head coaching position. What's his Peyton? What's the coach?
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton like completely bashed to that whole team.
Right.
I think it's more of a power move where he's like, listen,
I don't need to
I had a
prove
knife
myself.
to your throat and could have ended you.
Yeah.
And showed mercy, but really
Yeah.
I didn't show
'Cause he
mercy.
could-
It was like you could have been all over history because of me, and I
Right.
chose not to.
Right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they could have gotten the all-time total yards record,
Yeah.
and they could have got the all-time scoring
He
record.
said that the whole, even the, like, I don't know who this is, but the leaders of the team all agreed not to.
Right.
So if they were in sync on it, then they made the best decision.
Yeah, but that's kind
Yeah.
of one of those things where it's like he's the boss, and then he goes up to one of the guys, "Hey,
we're not going to go for
we're not
it.
going to go for it. Are you okay with that?" Like, you
I
know,
don't
I don't know.
I don't know. I think when you're that far ahead, I think you mesh the team together and you say, boys, like, listen, I want your input on this. This is where I want you guys. You watch them on the field. They are in sync. They have chemistry.
Right.
They have mojo. They're feeling it. So it's like, let's ride. Like, if you guys want to ride, then we'll push or go against me. It's open court right now, and they all were in sync. I think we'll be interested what to do this week.
And he was like,
Yeah.
that's not the
Yeah.
way to do it. I didn't understand that.
That was
Why that's not the way to do it.
And that's a good question, because the reason why they said that is because it wasn't to win the game. They didn't need a field goal to win the game. But
Yeah.
when you have 70 points, are you ever
Just
going to
go
need
for
a
it.
field goal to
Right.
win the game?
Right.
You know, you're not.
So the last time was what, 96?
No.
What was the
66
no,
or something like that.
66.
60?
Yeah, this would have been a
Six?
crazy record.
Yeah,
That
I
could
mean,
have been
they would
broken.
have
So, but
probably
what
had a
do you
record
remember? Was it a close game in 60s?
No.
Well, football
I think
looks
it's gonna be
so
hard to be a
different
close
then.
game if you have 70
If
points.
you have
Well,
70
I don't
points, there's
know.
I think it was
Wasn't
like
it live in
I think it was like
66?
72 to 43 or something like that.
And they pulled all of their players out in the fourth quarter. No,
They didn't put 'em back
I mean,
in.
I'm sorry, the like
yeah,
starters.
so you took
Well-
away the opportunity to
It was interesting.
to have
I
the
wonder if he
record.
regrets it.
But the kicker could have had the record. I mean, all the players could have been record holders.
But the other thing
Yeah.
is I don't think Peyton pulled their star players.
No, he
and
didn't.
everybody's freaking out, saying it's so disrespectful to them for them to have to be embarrassed out there like that. So on that side of it, it's like, hey, they were already embarrassed enough. They didn't pull out their star players to like save face for them. They kept them in there to like essentially.
that makes sense though if it was like college, high school. But these are professional athletes.
Yeah.
And like if you're not bringing it, then you know you're not bringing it. You know?
Yeah.
His remarks after the game were very much about like, we decided this as a team. It wasn't that wasn't the goal. Was to embarrass. It was more about the humiliation of the other team than it was
Right.
about the record.
Well, that's even more humiliating to Matt's point. That like, hey, you could have
it's like,
had the
Yeah,
record, and yet
yeah.
you're like, you know what, we're
I
gonna take
just
it
think-
easy on you.
No,
We're
but,
not
he,
gonna
but
have
he
the record.
supports them not going for it.
Who?
I just
yeah, I
think,
know he
I
does.
think McDaniels had every right to do it, where it's like they spoke trash on you, your team, or whatever, and for him to have been like, look, I took it right there. We could have done it. I chose not to.
Yeah.
What would you have done?
Well, this is what,
I wouldn't have done it.
This is
What
I
would you
think
have done,
was-
Steve?
This is what I think was interesting. is that he could have done it either way, right? I think he would have been right doing it. I think he was right, by not doing it because it's his choice.
Yeah.
What bothered me most was the announcer, Greg Olson, former tight end for the Hurricanes, who I like, but he made the comment as soon as they elected to take the knee, that's the right move. And I think that's his opinion that it's the right move, but it's not the right move. Mm-hmm. And for him to kind of...
Could have been right either way.
Could have been right either way.
Okay, so what would you have done?
What would I have done? I would have kicked the field goal.
What would you have done?
I think any killer would have kicked the field goal.
I don't. That's not a fair. I can't answer that because I think there's a lot more that goes into it in the moment.
What would you have done?
I wasn't in the arena. When you're in the arena, there's a lot more that you're thinking through.
Just pretend.
Well,
what? I think my gut says like I wanted as a fan for them to go for it and to hold that record and to be proud of the team. As a coach and for the reasons why he didn't go for it, I think they're going to have an amazing year, and I honestly think it will justify those decisions.
And to my point, just because I would have gone for it, I'm happy McDaniels did what he thought was right. He's the coach,
He
not me.
held fast to his conviction.
Mad. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't think he made the wrong choice.
What would you have done?
I think he made the right choice because he was the one that was in that position to make the choice.
He was in the arena.
So if you're able to make the choice, you can make whatever you want. But I think Greg Olson was wrong for saying that's the right move. Because it's not up to Greg Olson whether or not that's the right move.
Yeah, it wasn't
He could
necessarily
have
right
but
or
he's
wrong.
a color. He has an opinion.
Yeah, he shouldn't have an opinion. He could have said, I respect that Coach McDaniels did that.
Right.
That's a different thing. I respect what Coach McDaniels did.
I think a lot of people miss
But
that,
for
though.
me to say that's the right move or that's the wrong move,
You're swaying.
You're not the law. You're not the person who decides what the right move or wrong move is.
What would you have done?
Probably go for it.
I mean, you're talking about a record that probably won't be broken for decades. but
no one.
And who cares? You've already embarrassed them.
You've already embarrassed them.
yeah, I know. Everyone's like, it would have been embarrassing.
that much more
They're not
embarrassing.
embarrassed already?
No,
Like, what are you talking
I don't
about?
know. It's a little different maybe in football. I don't know if they see each other again this year. I don't think they do.
Not
right?
this year, no.
I just know. So in hockey, you start blowing up a score and you ease back and like you say, hey, we're going to be respectful. We're not going to beat you 10-1. That's because we're going to see you again.
Yeah.
There's like the karma of it and the bad omens, or it's just like you want to stay out of it. You've done the job. You've sent the message. You've dominated.
Right.
And at the end of the day, who gives a rip about a regular season record? I'd rather have a Stanley Cup or
That's kind of what.
I
wait,
agree with
that's
that,
kind of my
except
point.
for the fact that the biggest record that Miami has is like the perfect season record, right? So like that's what they've won 2 Super Bowls, I think, but honestly, when you talk about the Dolphins and what they've accomplished, the biggest thing they've done is the perfect season because they're the only team who ever had a perfect season. So this is not that this is the same level. The perfect season is way better than this, but to have the most points ever scored in any professional football game, that's still a big deal.
It's a big deal.
But to Matt's point, as like an athlete,
They've
I
already
think,
killed them.
Or
It's 70-10. I mean, it doesn't matter.
What's 3 more points?
What's 3 more points?
I
agree.
I get what you're saying, but to Matt's point, I think like for them, their eye is on like going for the Super Bowl, for playoffs. Like I think they're gonna
you think,
have a great
you
season.
think Michael Jordan would have done that, or Tiger Woods, or Kobe? No, they would have been an assassin, and they would have.
But Michael Jordan would have been out on the court if it was.
And either was 2-up.
to. Exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
But,
So if you had
what would Nick Saban have done? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's a good
what
question.
would Bill Belichick do? I don't know.
He probably would have gone for it.
It was so close. If it was like a touchdown and a field goal away,
And they were trying and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
The fact that they had a choice that they
And
could
it was
have.
a close field goal. It wasn't like a 60-yard
they
field
would have
goal.
gotten
It was like
it.
very short 30-yard field goal.
If this was like I don't know if this is right or not, but if there was no backstory like there was with McDaniels and
I
all
didn't
the
know the
smack
backstory.
talk,
They probably would have.
to me, I'm like, if there was no tie-in and just like the ultimate, I saw that as more of an FU than doing it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was
Interesting.
like
Which that wouldn't have like,
it was like I had every right to do it, and now people are looking at me as like, now I'm the class act, and I dominated you, and you're the one answering all the questions in the press about, how do you feel about him not doing it?
Yeah.
And you have to say how great of a stand-up guy I am, and I still beat you by I got 70 points on it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
So
true.
it's like the double mind F.
No, I get it. And I think, I mean,
But people
and
are
he's
going to
the one in
forget
that, and
about
like, to my
that
point,
drama.
he's the one that was in that position. So
Yeah.
he had the right to do whatever he wanted, and whatever he decided to do
Yeah.
was the right decision.
But to Steve's point,
You know,
it was that will get forgotten. What won't get forgotten is a record.
Right. Well, I won a Super Bowl then.
Yeah.
yeah, but even then, I mean, I don't know what Super Bowl we're on, but you're one of 60 Super Bowl champions. Like, there's only
Has
one.
nobody
points
else had a
record.
perfect record except the Dolphins?
Except only Dolphins.
Yeah, but if you asked a player, would you rather have a Super Bowl or the all-time regular seats points record?
No, I get that.
They're
Yeah.
every
Super
single
Bowl.
they're the ones who made that decision. I would
Yeah.
take
Right.
Super Bowl every time.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
All right.
All right. Well,
We didn't get to talk about Dion. That was my other topic.
we'll have to do like a sports one then, I guess, and bring Stetson
Well,
on.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
you wanted to talk about TT or
What?
Tay
What?
Taylor Swift?
Okay.
By the way,
and
if you guys,
Pfizer boy.
if you guys want to see a hilarious video,
We didn't talk about Vivek either. I wanted to get your opinion on
Oh my
Vivek.
gosh, we need a part 2.
funny video to end the clip. If you guys want to see something hilarious, go watch Shannon Sharp interview Deion Sanders when he's on the training table with no shoes on.
10 out of 10?
No shoe? No pinky toe?
Deion reveals how he's missing 2 toes.
Oh my God.
Is it on 1 foot or 2?
Yeah,
foot?
one foot.
Really?
And Shannon Sharp makes about 6 pun jokes about like having no toes.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
If the shoe was on my foot, then
Oh,
it's
that's
like the
great.
whole time there's laughing. Shannon Sharp's hilarious. He's the if his truck was broken down in the snow when I pick him up, nope. That guy. Yeah.
Dion, he is
So,
inspirational.
That's funny.
All right.
All right.
Thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.